Josh, first time I called you since you draw with Lara in the rematch.
Yeah.
But you seem a bit more of a happy man now.
Yeah, I'm.
Because on the night you were, it felt like a loss more than,
It did, and obviously at times a bit of an healer, and you can reflect on things over the weeks past. Obviously, initially after the fight just getting called off like it did, and let's not forget that's the first time that anything like that's ever happened to me. It was a bit of a shock to the system, and I didn't want it to end like that, and especially after just walking out, 15 minutes earlier.
It was amazing reception, wasn't it?
I don't have to say anymore. Like, you and 20,000 other people over there can vouch for how great the noise and reception was. It just felt like, I'd let them people down who was in there. I let that energy down, by not getting the job done. And I know it was out of my hands. And people say whatever they want, like headbutts, deliberate headbutts and stuff like that. It's a clash of the heads. But since that, you have good time to reflect on it, and positives to take from there is that in the first 2 rounds, I felt back. Now, 2 rounds can tell you a lot. You have to look at the Carlframpton fight, the Lee Selby fight. It can tell you, it can show you a lot, and I knew from them first 2 rounds that I was back to where I should be.
Well, let's go just back before that.
Okay,
in the changing rooms.
Yeah.
Were you nervous?
Yes, I was. Because I don't mind admitting it, Lee. I don't mind admitting it. I was nervous. Yeah, of course I was. Because as much as you prepare for the mentality of going into battle, there's always questions that loom weeks and weeks before.
You've never had to think about those questions before because you've won every time. So this is, and it was a bad defeat, wasn't it?
I've always done it. It's fear factor. I've always done it, even coming through fighting for British title against Martin Lindsay. I remember being absolutely shitting myself, thinking, bloody hell, Martin's big puncher. I've been watching videos of him knocking Derry Matthews out with left hooks. Now I'm fighting him for British title. What if it's all come too quick for you at Leeds Arena? Oh, is this really meant to be? And I had them thoughts all the way through like the change rooms until it was time to walk to the ring, and then bam, I switched. And that fear factor, in a way, can be a good thing because it makes me push a little bit harder. If I'm thinking about stuff like that on my run, getting ready to fight likes of, I don't know, Isashi Yamagasa or Dennis Solano.
Well, okay, I understand that, that's perfect, but the thing is, you've won, so each time you've won, surely that fear factor would have got less.
It never goes away. I'll tell you, alright, argument's sake, it started to dwindle a little bit after I'd beat Selby. So I thought, I'm fucking invincible, man. I've said everything I'm going to do. I've just been, gone against the odds. It was 4-1. Now no one's beating me. Even when I went in Carl, I was fucking laughing and joking. The Leeds United footballer, Liam Cooper, behind me, he was shitting himself to the walk to ring holding belt. And he was more scared than what I was. And yeah, you still have them butterflies, but I think I had a word with myself after the world title, like, you shouldn't even be here, really. Everyone said when you started, you shouldn't even be here. Just enjoy it. Now, if I was a 10-year-old lad, 11-year-old lad going into my amateur boxing club, and someone would come along and say, "Hey, Josh, I've seen future. You're going to be world champion, fighting in arenas." I said, me, I wouldn't believe them. But it's like, I'm living the dream. I'd fucking dreamed about doing stuff like this when I was a young lad, and being able to fight in arenas. And to be fair, it never really crossed my mind. I thought just fighting on TV, I'd cheat myself, like expectation, but I'm just enjoying the moment, Lee. And certainly when it come to Mauricio Lara the first time, I'll be honest, I believed my own hype. I did believe my own hype. I thought, even down in the bubble, the workouts and stuff, everyone's laughing and joking. I should have seen him eating pads. He looks sound like he's got a bit of power, but fucking hell, no boxing technique about him. And I'm thinking to myself, that'll be alright, getting blasted out there. I just want to go home actually, because we look like we've got Ganju in 8 weeks time. We're going to get that announced straight after this one, so can get him out here, finish in good style, go to cameras, I'm back and all that stuff. Yeah, have a bit of a giggle about it. And that fucking all went wrong, didn't it, Lee?
So that was arguably the first time you went into a fight, a title fight, as a favourite as well. Realistically, I don't think
The Lara fight.
Yeah.
Well, obviously they want the belt on the line, would they? It's had vacated weeks.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But we still think of it, you know.
But
like,
he was still at that level. Josh Warrington, the world champion, at that level, number one in the world, at that level. It's the first time I've gone in there that confident. I mean, you could see it. You could see it from ring walk, and people did say, "Fucking hell, you didn't look right." And that's probably what it was. Took a cock shot on myself.
But I suppose.
And I think I knew that something was wrong. I knew when I'm fucking laughing and joking with Ralph, the floor man, who does the shows for Sky and BT and all that. And I'm laughing and joking with him, and he's saying, "Right, get yourself up, Josh. Walk to the ring, get myself up." And I'm thinking, shouldn't I get myself switched on here? I'm laughing and joking. What the fuck's going on? So I'm trying to get myself pumped up, but it's hard to just fucking switch on like that.
You can't manufacture it.
Exactly. And get myself in the ring, bounce off the ropes, and I'm not feeling that course of adrenaline running through me. I'm not feeling the razor sharp focus. I'm looking over and thinking, fucking hell, still what I need to do. I'll be out there.
Was it a different type of fear though, going in with him again? Because like you say, you know you need fear. We all do, and you found that out on that night. Like, the first time you met him, you didn't have it. But on the second time, you had legitimate fear this time because the kid had beat you and beat you, you know, well.
And this is it. So we've more or less painted a picture there now of my mindset of what it's normally like. And going into this one, it was different. It was different because I felt that I had the pressure on my shoulders again. Now I've learned to use that pressure and turn it into good thing. The expectation, big crowd. You've got to fucking deliver for them. People out there have paid their hard money. I can deliver. You're not going to fucking let them down. And I tell myself that. I feel myself getting worked over now, just saying it. But not only that, he had beat me. And he didn't just beat me, like, he hurt me. You know, the only one that put me on my back ever. Fractured my jaw, perforated my eardrum, I damaged my shoulder, damaged my elbow, damaged ribs. I'm fucked. Now I've taken some hard punishment throughout the fights, you know, Martinez, Amagasa. I've had some hard scraps, but not like that. I've never been bloodletted to fucking hospital after.
I've never seen you. No.
That's what I'm saying. So you start thinking, fucking hell, what if he does that to you again? There's 20,000 people out there. What if he does that to you again and you go down? Yeah, you've got them to fucking roar you and feed off that and just keep on fighting and get back up. But you get beat again, it's fucking curtains. And that's the kind of mindset I was going through. And mate, fucking hell, roller coaster of emotions. And I've gone through this many times. You know, people could say, oh, you fucking, maybe you need a psychologist. No, I'd cleared it all weeks and weeks beforehand. I had many nights in bed thinking about what could happen. I'd gone over it many times, but just on fight night, it does different things to you. You talk with different emotions.
You know, I love it because it's quite a somber place. It's not until about 10-15 minutes before, but you go into a little quiet place, everyone leaves you alone, you sit on your own, you just, you know, you switch off from everyone else and you talk to yourself. You can see you talking to you. What were you saying to yourself?
I think the few things then I'll keep to myself because it's not so much personal, but it's just some things what, you know, tell myself to why we're in this position and what's going to get me through. But there's a few things as well, but it's just general reminders, and it's easy to just think it in your head, but when you actually
say it. But then I love
words,
that, as soon as that, the guy comes in, he says, going through, the little switch clicks, you get up and you go, let's go, you know, and the team's all behind you, and you know, I could feel a difference, could feel a difference there, you know, it was like, oh, Josh is back. And
well, again, that's it, and I didn't have that in London. When I'm warming up on pads, I didn't have that fucking spite about me, and the spite was that little fear and questioning and rollercoaster emotions were there until I started hitting the pads. And the more I hit the pads, the more than fucking that doubt dwindled. And when I sat down and had the little minute, and I'm like just telling myself, it's not happening tonight. You are fucking losing tonight. You're not losing. And I think the change was everyone came out of the change rooms, we turned left, walking down the corridors, all my entourage is behind me, walking down fucking, you know, corridors of Edinley Stadium, and then everyone had to go to the ring. and I was left there for around a minute and a half, 90 seconds.
I was there watching.
Right, that could have been fucking about an hour. Me stood there. So many thoughts going through my head right there, and as soon as I went in that little curtain, everything had gone. All the fucking doubt had gone, and I was just empty then until I came out, looked around, and I started the ring walk. And once I got on that platform, I like come to fucking life. Now, that's one thing about me having me support there is it does fucking light a fire. And as soon as I got in that ring, I felt at home. I felt at home, and I didn't feel like that when I got in the ring at London. And when I got in, I had this fucking vision what has got me through the fights all throughout my career. You know, the vision of just seeing the fucking 4 ropes and the man in front of me. Now I wasn't looking about outside or like even in London, I'm looking at fucking the officials wearing masks and people in hazmat suits and shit like that. I didn't have none of that. I was just solely focused on him. And the first bell went, that first round, landed a few shots, and I was like, fucking hell, I took a lot of comfort from that. Like, there is fucking levels to this. You haven't lost it. You are back. You are in control. And I'm more listening to me own fella after the first round. I'll fucking end this when I want to. No, how the fuck did I get beat by him in the first fight? I really felt that way because having that bit of sharpness and wits about you, I could see everything coming. In my eyes, this is how slow his punches were coming. And it was just for me, just a case of going. And yeah, I did stand and cheer with him in the second round, but again, a lot I can take away from that.
You need to do that though as well.
Yes, because I needed to support that fire. I wanted him to come at me. I wanted to join him in a fight. Now, obviously Mauricio's going into different circumstances. Down in London, he's seeing me in the hotel, waving over. I'm giving him loads of respect. This time round, we've got an head-to-head at weigh-in. He's walked to a ring in front of 20,000 people. People are booing him. People are chucking pints and all sorts. So he's going to be a bit of a different mindset. Started the fight a little bit slower, but I needed to get him mad. Now I know from first fight, a couple of shots, and he's going to come, and that's what I wanted him to. I wanted him to fucking come forward, and in the first round he didn't, but the second one he started to, and obviously.
Yeah, but I think you caught him in the first round, was it? I think
a straight right.
Right, yeah. And I you could feel it, you could see it had an effect on him.
Yeah. And I felt like that with jabs. I felt like my jabs were sinking into his nose. I had lovely fucking custom-made Clayton Ray's gloves on, but I felt like the jabs were sinking into his nose.
You say that, but I thought they were disgusting, mate. They looked horrible, mate.
Oh, mate, they were lovely, and yeah, I felt lovely in there. I felt really good. I felt defensively sound. Everything just felt alive, and obviously, I think that's why when we started the interview, you asked, I felt so flat because I was feeling so good, and I come out to that crowd and that energy, and it just went. Because of how the fighting did. And, people have said since, and I've not really commented it too much, which I probably should do, but I'll probably save it to just talking. It's easy to put whatever they want on keyboards, but with DAZN put something out where it half looks like I'm just happy to, I've got out there or whatever, and he's carrying on complaining about fucking headbutting and this, that and other. Say one thing, in the first few rounds, we clinched, right? And the first few rounds we clinched. A couple of times I wanted to clinch, I wanted to work inside, but other times we just get tangled. There were times when I was hitting him with little choppy right hands, choppy left hooks, and he's complaining to Steve Gray. And Steve Gray's going, Mauricio, there's nothing wrong, work on, carry on, work on. He's complaining about the head. After the first round, he started to get a bit of a welt under his eye. Now in the first fight, I actually cut him with a punch on the same eye, and it was ruled as a cut by a punch. This time, it binned him as a clash of heads, and we did clash heads a fair few times, but as fighters coming forward together, I'm coming down, my head down, chin down, and if he's going to be up, it's inevitable, something like that is going to happen. He's got eye fucking features, such as his eyebrows and his cheekbones, they're quite prominent, so they're probably going to cut as well if they even
Boxing, it happens,
of course,
so
but like
I didn't see anything malicious in there.
Stood in front of him. I mean, fucking calling me a cheating bastard and that after. I didn't really, if I knew he was fucking saying that, I'd have had more words with him after. But stood in front of him, looking at his eye, I'm thinking, he's got a cut. Not thinking, fucking hell, that looks really bad. It's going to be an advantage. I'm thinking he's got a cut. When I boxed Selby's were 10 times worse than that in the second round. And he still made it to round 12. Now, you watch it back, in the fucking second round, on the highlights that it shows, they're using a cotton bud, what you fucking pick your ears out with, rather than a swab, like normally soaked in adrenaline to stop the bleeding. They're using a cotton bud, and they're fucking prizing it open. And it's him who calls the referee over. Steve Gray didn't go over there off his own behalf. It's him who calls the referee over. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that, especially like halfway through the minute's rest. You'd be wanting to give your corner every little advantage and only flag it when the referee flags it, not fucking calling it out yourself. So for him, he's in ring. He's fucking shown himself. He's come again. He's come on my backyard. He's got paid. He can go back to Mexico,
Very well.
in Edo, and probably a fucking millionaire in pesos in fucking currency transition. But it's frustrating for obviously myself, you know, because I want to close that
now
show.
you can put that. I mean, on the night it was horrible for you.
I can't.
But you answered a lot of those little demons that were in your head on that night. I think.
For myself mentally, I think if anything, it's just the fucking pride. I think the pride.
Outside your Leeds fans, everyone always questions you, mate. Everyone always questions you. Whether it's this, whether it's that, did he want it, or can you still do it? You know, and so you're never going to answer their questions.
I know.
But you're the most important person.
Yeah, of course.
Those questions that you had of yourself needed answering, and for me, I felt you did. So
I think it's just for the history books, Lee. You know, over time. It's funny because a few weeks later, I was driving down to Norfolk to see some family, and I was listening to the AJ fight on fucking 5 Live, and on introductions, Michael Buffer says, introducing AJ, he says he's redeemed every he's beaten every man he's been in the ring with.
Yeah.
And I kind of had that all throughout camp. Him saying that for me, but at the end of the fight, I thought he'd be saying now he's redeemed his loss. He's fucking beaten every man he's faced, and that's my only thing.
well, listen.
When it's all said and done, I wanted the record books to show that I got beat by him, but then I came back and beat him. Do you know what I mean?
Well, then, if everything goes well, let's say you get a big fight in America, or a big fight over here for a world title, whatever comes your way.
Yeah.
Is that still in the back of your mind, what you just said there? Would you like to beat him? Would you like to get in there again? You know, you get, if it's win, or 2 wins, or 3 wins, whatever it is under your belt, is he still always going to be there in the back of your mind for you for when you to retire, you go, look, I beat every man I ever faced?
I mean, time will tell that. Maybe I go on, win the world title, and fucking...
But he's got to go and win it. He's got to keep on winning, hasn't he?
If I go on and do that, win the world title, have some excellent wins and that, and I might look back and think, you know what, it was a blessing, it was meant to happen, it fucking changed my mindset for, final stages of my career. So maybe I'm able to swallow that, but in this moment in time, I'd want to squash it.
And final question then. Now we've answered all those little questions, what everyone keeps on asking and tweet on about every now and then. What's next and when?
Well, that's what we're in the gym. We're working away. We're keeping ourselves ready. We're looking to. I want to go to the States. There's a couple of champions over there in the States. Gary Russell Jr. There's Leo Santa Cruz. There's Emmanuel Navarrete. I'm here, and I think every one of them fights is a big fight. And I feel that they're names that I've been wanting for a long time. People talk about the current scene now, especially over here. You've got the likes of Lee Wood and fucking Kid Galad and stuff. I've done Kid Galad. I know when I won the world title with Lee Selby, Carl Frampton, Kid Galad over here. I did all 3 of them. And then across the pond, it was Gary Russell, Oscar Valdez, and Leo Santa Cruz. Now Oscar Valdez has moved up since, won a world title at another weight, but Santa Cruz and fucking Gary Russell's still there. And I've been wanting a long time. Why can't I make it happen? Surely they'll look at me now and fucking think there's more room.
Might make it a bit easier.
Yeah, exactly. So
they always say after a defeat comes a big fight, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we're still carrying that profile. So why not? That's what I look to. I don't fucking feel like I have to. That's not being too cocky, but I don't feel like I have to start again. I don't have to think. I don't think I have to start going down the road to final eliminators and things like that, because people, who I've beat or I've seen beat around me, have gone straight into world title fights after losses. You know, how does that fucking work? You know, so you know, I've done everything right, done everything that's been asked of me, and just hope we can get a big fight matched in future, Lee.
Yeah, well, that's it, because that's it. I want the trip to Vegas, mate.
We all do. Vegas or New York.
Josh, it's great to see you back on top form,
Thank you,
mate.
Cheers,
And
brother.
like I say, if it's not before the end of the year, and certainly early in the new year, we get a world champion again.
Cheers, mate.
Remember, your purses pay for half our shows.
Top man.
Josh, you take
Cheers,
care, mate.
mate.
Bye.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.